It is a different theme that I chose this year, Be a Miracle. And the reason I thought about that is because I thought about Christ coming into the world. The Son of God comes into the world, and he comes doing miracles. Miracles, I think one of the simplest ways to express it, are signs of God's love in the world. I think miracles are happening in our own church here in the Diocese of Austin. So the theme was kind of a very clear one for me. It's like, be a miracle. Because not only did Christ perform miracles in the past, and he continues to perform them even now, but then he asks us to become miracles for others. One of the clearest ways that I see that is, of course, in our campus ministries. And the great miracle for me is to see these young people who have a hunger for Christ really renew their faith. Some of them have fallen away from their faith, and all of a sudden, by coming into our campus ministries, they are renewed in their faith, and they're witnessing to others that they're followers of Jesus Christ. And not only at the university centers, but also in our young adult groups, because we have several young adult groups, both English and in Spanish, and they are the ones who are making their faith alive and real, and that to me is extraordinary. That's a miracle in our day and time. When I think about my seminarians, when I think about my priests, they just bring a great joy to me. When I think about seminarians, that they could be pursuing a profession where they could be seeking out making a lot of money in the world, but they've heard this particular call and they've responded to the call of Christ. The priests are the same way. Here are the men who've now discovered their call and they said yes to Christ, and they were ordained priests for the church, and then they're living in a way that's countercultural to the world. They're the ones who become a sign that speaks to us of miracles, because they're not pursuing what everybody else is pursuing, but they're standing out and pointing to Christ as the way, the truth, and the life. We follow him. This is Santa Barbara right here, one of our newly dedicated churches. And we've had already a couple of dedicated churches in this diocese, which is a great sign about the growth of our church. It's an expression of our faith, though, because we as Catholics, we want to build churches that are beautiful to honor and glorify God. That's why we build beautiful buildings. So these buildings, they're physical signs of God's love in the world. And just to see the eyes of the people fill up with joy, some of them with tears, some of them getting very emotional, just overwhelmed by the beauty of the ceremony that takes place, because most people don't get to see a dedication of a church. It's a very unique celebration. And for me, I get emotional too, because I experience that as the bishop, as the spiritual father of this church. I want to see my children benefit from the good things, and that's a miracle in itself, that people gave, sacrificed, so that these people could benefit from this wonderful manifestation of God's love in the world. I think one of the things about Jesus when he does his miracles, and at least it is recorded in the scriptures, he covers all the age groups. So he does miracles in all these different groups, men and women and children, the young and the old, the wealthy and the poor. So to me, that's a great call to all of us, wherever we are, whatever stage in life we have, whatever profession, young, old, educational background, doesn't matter. All of us are invited to be part of the church. And if we're all called to be part of God's community of this church, then we all have a part to play and we all have a part to contribute. So I want to invite all the people of the Diocese of Austin to join me in contributing to the CSA and to become a miracle, so that you can be a blessing to other people. We want every one of them to be blessed by the miracles that Christ offers.